Inside a crowded bar, Ray King sat alone, waiting. Across the street, a team of assassins closed in. One of them, Cobb, ignored an incoming call from Burke and began setting up a sniper rifle. Moments later, an AI entered and took a seat across from King. He showed her a photo of himself with a boy named Alberto. She misunderstood, thinking King wanted the child dead. Outraged, she refused. King quickly corrected her. He wasn't after the boy's life, just his location. He needed Anasa's help. When he asked about a possible medical issue, she denied any knowledge. Then, without hesitation, she warned him. Killers were already outside and they were both targets. Soon, King spotted one of the assassins entering the bar and moved fast straight to the restroom. Seconds later, the killer followed. With no way. Hold on to your hats, folks, because this is about to get wild. Our main man, King, knowing a brawl's about to erupt, jots a cryptic note on his palm like he's ordering a pizza, but this one's gonna be a lot more violent. Bam! He takes down two goons in a whirlwind of fists and fury. Meanwhile, Slick Anias pulls a Houdini, slipping out the front while Cobb's fumbling his shot. Talk about bad aim. King emerges to a graveyard of goons, courtesy of Anias's ninja skills, but oh, Cobb's got a bead on him. One bullet, and King is down. Next day, Medina gets the dreaded call. Ray King's pushing up daisies. At the morgue, she's all, why am I even here? But boom, turns out, she was King's eyes contact. Then comes the kicker, the scribbled message. Find the accountant. Cut to Idaho. Wolf, our favorite romance novel cover model, is gearing up for the Boise Romance Festival when he gets some sweet news about a recent payment. Little does he know, a storm is brewing. At the festival, Wolf causes a commotion with the ladies. Voice dripping with playful sarcasm. Alright, buckle up buttercups, cause Wolf thought he could game the dating scene. Backquote algorithmically enhanced backquote, he claimed to be taller and smoother. Picture this, a gaggle of hopefuls crowded his table until he opened his mouth. Turns out, brutal honesty isn't exactly a panty dropper. Poof, they vanished like free donuts at a tech convention, leaving Wolf solo, connectionless. Voice shifting to intrigue and suspense. Meanwhile, Medina's playing detective at Ray King's creepy crypt. She unearths a Christian Wolf clue, dun duun, and rents the place. Then, bam, she calls Harbor Neuroscience, fishing for Wolf info. But it's like talking to a brick wall. Nobody knows Wolf. Suspicious, right? Especially since Justine's playing real-time eavesdropper. Medina drops the King death bomb and hangs UP. Genius. Later, she finds a family photo. Alberto's family. What's that got to do with things? Elsewhere, Cobb is getting grilled by Burke about Anias. Wasn't dead. Cobb said he never had a clear shot. Burke revealed the truth. Anias, not King, was the real target. She had disappeared years ago during a human trafficking operation. Burke had planned to sell her, but recently she reappeared, broke into one of Burke's meetings, and killed everyone but him. What disturbed him most, she didn't even recognize him, as if her past had been erased. Burke was disturbed. He had been responsible for tearing Anasa's life apart, and now she was back, alive, dangerous, and unaware of who he was. That uncertainty frightened him. If her memories returned, everything could fall apart. He gave Cobb a clear order. Eliminate anyone tied to her who might be a threat. Cobb didn't argue. He left immediately. Elsewhere, Medina arrived at a quiet parking lot after receiving a coded message from Justine. Moments later, Wolf appeared. Medina reminded him that she had worked on his case 8 years ago, and now she needed his help. As a favor, Wolf agreed. Together, they returned to King's house. Medina laid out the evidence King had collected. Side by side, they began sorting through the photos, trying to uncover the truth. 3 men were also shot to death inside the tavern. One struck by a car outside. Was very capable of that. No, he was not. In Texas, Cobb carried out his mission with lethal precision. Anasa's father was found dead. Another loose end tied up. Back at King's home, Wolf studied the photos and filled in the missing details. Anasa's family had been deported from Central America, taken a train to Mexico City, then crossed into the US. Her son, Alberto, would now be around 13. Then Wolf revealed her real name, Edith Sanchez. She had once worked at a pizza restaurant called Studios Pizza, a front for human trafficking. It was their next lead. They drove to Studios Pizza and questioned the owner, Ike. When asked about Edith, he denied everything, but Wolf could tell he was lying. He confronted Ike about his. Alright, buckle up, because things just went from shady to full-blown money laundering operation. Ike tried to be a hero, but bam. Wolf, the enforcer, just ragdolled him. Talk about a bad day at the office. Our Fed is stunned. He blusters, but Wolf just smooth talks him. Under pressure, Ike cracks and spills a name linked to the mysterious Edith. Bingo! Wolf and Medina are off to the races. But Medina's headed with Wolf's heavy-handed tactics. No more smashing, she says. Wolf just smirks and suggests, maybe, just maybe, they need backup. His brother, Braxton, a fellow professional killer. Cut to Berlin, where Braxton's chilling in a swanky hotel, gearing up for his next gig. He's on the phone, haggling over his fee like he's buying a used car, but takes the job anyway. Later that night, he slices through security like butter, cornering his target, a young woman. But hold on, just as he's about to finish, his phone rings. It's Wolf. Little brother needs help. Braxton's annoyed, but blood is thicker than water, I guess. Dismissed him at first, but Wolf called again, this time with urgency. He needed Braxton in California within 24 hours. Annoyed, Braxton hung up and walked away, leaving the woman alive. The next night in California, Wolf and Medina waited at a hotel. When Braxton arrived, Medina introduced herself. The moment he realized she was a federal agent, Braxton pulled Wolf aside. He didn't trust her. He was a contract killer, and working with law enforcement wasn't part of the deal. But after a tense exchange, Wolf convinced him. Reluctantly, Braxton agreed to join them. Inside the hotel room, Wolf and Braxton set up a risky plan. They hired 3 prostitutes using the meeting as a cover. Medina waited outside, unaware of the full strategy. While they waited, Braxton used the moment to poke fun at Wolf, his way of reconnecting after years apart. When the women arrived, Braxton paid them and asked one to call their employer. 2 refused, uncomfortable with the situation. They gave the money back and walked out. The third agreed if she got. Alright, buckle up buttercups. Collision Wolf cough cough, sweetened the deal, money bag and Our Lady made that oh so important call. Turns out, it's the same contact we got from Ike, connected to Edith. Exploding head meanwhile, Medina's world explodes. Bomb snipers taken out her father and husband. Talk about a bad day, right? Fearful face. Then, bam, collision, a mysterious dude shows up to collect the women, but Braxton's got other plans. He goes full action hero biceps, stuffs the guy in Medina's trunk. Medina's freaking out about the cop's revolving light, but Wolf's already got Justine on speed dial. Phone, she's a digital goddess. Hacking traffic lights, redirecting patrols like a boss. Cool, they slip away, clean as a whistle. Running dash. Next stop, a safe house. At Harbor Neuroscience Academy, Justine and her super smart team of autistic students are on the hunt. Magnifying glass Medina and Wolf are glued to the screen PC, watching the magic happen. They comb through bar security footage, but no face. Loudly crying then, jackpot. Money bag, a blurry image appears. Hold on to your hats, folks. So, picture this, some shady characters? They're after a mysterious woman. Oh, they snatched a photo from some random lady's laptop. Talk about an invasion of privacy. Using her network as their personal playground. They ran facial recognition, and bam. Our mystery lady, Anna, is flagged for multiple murders, but her name's a ghost. The trail vanishes quicker than free donuts at a police convention. Meanwhile, at King's Crib, Medina uncovers Braxton's nasty habit of adding folks to King's photo album, permanently. Boom. Tensions hit DEFCON 1. Medina storms out. Oh, but wait, the guy stuffed in the trunk is suddenly a chatterbox. Wolf and Braxton scramble to shut him up faster than you can say, code red. Medina, with the sass of a seasoned detective, lays down the law, no more messing with traffic systems. Or she'll slap M in cuffs. She struts away, leaving the chaos in her rearview mirror. Cut to Cobb, perched on a rooftop, ready to play sharpshooter. Across the street, that trunk-bound captive is spilling the beans about a human trafficking ring during a tense interrogation. And guess who decides to drop in? Medina. Hold on to your hats, folks, cause this gets wild. Our dude gave this slimeball a deal he couldn't refuse, rat out Edith's trafficker and walk, or else. Cornered like a rat, Mr. Sleaze spilled the tea. Edith was hospitalized after a botched escape from the clutches of this Burke character. But bam, just as he's about to drop the name, Cobb, out of nowhere, snipes him dead. Vanished. Poof. Meanwhile, Wolf's sniffing around a hospital report, thinking it's Anya's. He calls Medina, tells her to snoop, then hangs up. Later, Wolf and Braxton hit a bar, trying to chill. A bartender, total hottie, catches Wolf's eye. Braxton has to twist his arm, but Wolf finally loosens up, gets his groove on, even gets cuddly. But oh, trouble's brewing. Some jealous dude, clearly friend-zoned by the bartender, is about to throw a wrench in things. Hold on to your hats, folks. Things are about to get wild. Our man Wolf almost got into a brawl, but Braxton, bless his heart, jumped in and they tag teamed the trouble right out of there. And get this, Wolf snagged the lady's digits, smooth operator. Meanwhile, Medina's digging deep at the hospital and bam, they've got footage of Edith's recovery, which is less recovery, more superhuman reboot. Brains gone haywire, memories wiped, and she's got the strength of a rhino. Oh, and she escaped after persuading a security guard to retire early. Her only response? A whistle. Cue Justine's team, hacking into the hospital's mainframe, downloading all of Edith's juicy medical secrets. But wait, there's more. Braxton gets a contract, Medina's the target. And get this, Wolf finds out everyone's after her, hightailing it to her place to save the day. They arrive just as Edith's busting in, searching for who knows what. Hold on to your hats, folks. Edith was on a rampage. Medina didn't stand a chance. Then, bam, family photo. Cue the flashbacks. Burke's a monster, trafficking, snatched child. Enter Wolf. Turns out, little Alberto's alive. Brain explosion. Edith bolts. Wolf's playing doctor to save Medina, bless his heart. Meanwhile, Burke's spitting fire. Medina messed up his game, so it's kill Medina. Plus, Cobb's off to Mexico for a bonus round of horror. Alberto and the kids are toast. But wait, Justine's got the intel. Wolf and Braxton are loading up for war. Headed straight for Juarez. While they advance, Justine and her team hacked into drone surveillance feeds to locate Cobb. Once they had his position, she sent the coordinates to Wolf and Braxton. As they moved in, Braxton cleared out several guards while Wolf stayed behind the wheel, pushing forward. Knowing the mission had been compromised, Cobb took Alberto and boarded a bus, planning to kill him during the escape. But before they could get far, Cobb spotted Braxton and opened fire. He missed. Braxton quickly regrouped, eliminated the last of Cobb's men, and joined up with Wolf. Together, the brothers launched a brutal assault, tearing through the compound in a violent shootout. In the end, everyone was dead except Cobb. Inside the bus, Cobb aimed his gun at Alberto's head, ready to kill. But Wolf and Braxton moved in fast. Before Cobb could pull the trigger, they took him down. Burke is